What's up, everyone? So since the last video, I've spent a lot of time in the shop and haven't really gotten a pile done. I got the car powered up, so like everything works. Door locks, radio, all the good stuff. Got my switch under here. It's not hung up yet, just kind of hanging, but I got that in and the car powers up. The power windows work. Everything seems to be good as far as the interior goes, aside from I'm battling the anti-theft system. And I've kind of just been tinkering with that for the last few days. And I figured out a way around it, but I kind of just wanted the light to go off and for it not to sit there and ding all the time. And I just can't do it. I'm missing parts of the factory stuff and it's just not gonna work. So whatever, is what it is. I'll do my bypass trick and maybe yank the buzzer and make it not be annoying. But the key fob works, all the good stuff works, so that's a huge plus. But now, finally, I am putting the fuel hat together. My gas gauge works, so big score there. And this thing, you can see it right here, it fits finally. Let me get this guy out of here and I'll show you what I all had to do, because it did not make it very easy on me, that's for sure. So I know most of the new style hats fit 450s in a factory tank. This is not a new style hat. So what I had to do was take this thing back to work and machine this piece that holds the pump, which you've seen in a couple videos ago. I already did machine it because the diameters were not big enough to fit 450s. So now the diameters are big enough, and I went to put all this together yesterday, and it was literally this far from seating all the way on the bottom of the tank, or from, seating on the hat lid. And these were hitting the bottom of the tank right here. I mean, so close. And I knew that I had a little bit of extra room in there. So all I did was went and machined this so I could push these pumps down further. And now the outlets are literally butted up to the inlets, cranked in tight. Everything's secure as can be. So we should be golden. Now it fits in there good. As you've seen, I just had it in there. It sits down just right. So I'm gonna throw the float on for the fuel level sensor and get this all buttoned up and hopefully raise this tank in and start making fuel lines. That's the next big piece. Got a couple parts coming. I don't have the right bolts for the drive shaft, so those are on the way. And my transmission lines are on the way, then some red car parts. So once this car gets wrapped up, I think I'm gonna do an old switcheroo, bring the red car home, because I gotta do a little fab on the parachute so I can haul one of those. They make them for trucks and you put like a garbage can on them or something, but that's what I'm gonna carry in my toolbox and couple gas cans with and stuff like that. So the red car will be back in here and I'll be putting a lot of time, making a lot of videos on that, so that'll be fun. But we need to get the gray car up and running. That's the goal, running and driving. And I hope by end of the weekend, maybe middle of next week, we can be doing that. Let's go get this all buttoned up, wires tied in, and hook it up. Well guys, I kind of should have filmed some more of this process, but the fuel tank is in. Put the light on here. She fits up there. Everything seems to be pretty good. I gotta tie that up a little nicer. It kind of fell off that power wire, but you can't really see much, but everything's in there nicely. Got all the fuel lines ran, got the filter on. I'm short one fitting, so I took the easiest one off and used it for the fuel tank because it's a very, very tight fit. But I also got the Motion Raceworks Flex Fuel sensor in, so that's pretty awesome. We're coming along on this thing. It has been quite the struggle, but I'm learning a ton, and both pumps work, turn on just how they're supposed to, so that's a good deal there. One nice project knocked out of the way. So now I think tomorrow I gotta run to the auto parts store, so I'm going to try to figure out what I need to do the water lines. And the rest of it I should have all the parts for and can throw her together, so I'm gonna do that. We're back, working on the gray car. So as you know, I got my battery just chilling here and I haven't had it mounted anything, but did a little draw on yesterday and whipped up this pretty sweet battery tray. And as you can see, the tool path is absolutely beautiful. It's notched out right up here, and that is for the tub of the car. So I'm gonna slide this baby under there, drilled some holes through the floor, bolt her up, and we should be good. Then I got 2 tapped holes out here on the outside by my thumb, and that is where the rod will go over to actually hold the battery down. So pretty solid little idea there. Actually works pretty good, so I'm gonna get that all mounted in and see how she looks. Well, now that we got that battery box all in and mounted up, I'll show you what that looks like here. So all the carpet it's in. Don't mind my little clump of wires. My fuse block is not here, so that's just temporary. But yeah, that thing fit really nice. The carpet all goes in. You can't really see any wires, so super stoked about that. And now let's get into the big details. So I've been out here a lot, and not really a whole pile has gotten done. Miscellaneous odds and ends, random stuff, but I was wiring here a couple days ago, and I don't know what I did or what happened, but somehow I managed to kill the Terminator. So the Terminator does not work at the moment. I don't know why. I was running a 12-volt wire all the way up to the front and then just going off of it, you know, to random sensors and things like that. And I don't know if I touched something and that wire was on, or if I left the computer on or what, but something happened. The Terminator no longer lives. Luckily, found one used from a dude that I don't know him, but just talked to him on the internet for a while, and he shipped it and it'll be here tomorrow. So I guess we're back in business. I thought that was a killer because I have 1 week left. No, I have less than a week left with this car in the shop, and then I am doing a good old switcheroo and bringing the red car home because I got to get the red car all prepped up for sick week. So the final grind to get this thing going, and I have all the parts here, hopefully. But there's really not much left to do, as long as my cooling system works. I got a little boot here that hopefully does what I need for it, but we'll find out. But I figured since this car was kind of a barn find, I was looking in the old intercooler hole, and it was pretty nasty. And so I vacuumed it out a little bit, and then I was like, before I seal this whole thing up, I should take that thing off and blow it out. And I heard something rattle around in there, and there was a tiny, tiny, tiny dead mouse inside of this hole in the intercooler, way down in there. So I addressed that, as you can see, blew the ends out, so now she's all nice and clean, and I'll go toss it back in, and then we should be set for final assembly as far as this stuff goes. I'm pretty stoked about that. I got brakes for this thing today because the front brakes were shot, and just a bunch of other random stuff. So it should be rocking and rolling here, and hopefully fire this baby up this weekend. I'm just gonna switch that wire. I didn't want to use the power tap on the Holly because I don't like how it's not live unless the fuel pump's on. I think that's dumb, but that's how it's gonna be. So gonna switch that up. I tested the alternator because it kind of did some weird stuff, but it's all fine, so I'm gonna throw that back on. Just random little stuff, put clamps on everything, fluids, and she's good to go. So this thing, hopefully we have a fire up video here very shortly. But I'm gonna toss this intercooler back up and in here and probably go have some dinner. I'm pretty hungry. But let's get going on that, and then I can hook the transmission lines up as well, because that goes right in front of there. So we're looking good. We're looking real good. It's been a long 3-4 days with all this issues and stuff going wrong and that, but we're finally getting things back together the way it should be. Not that this car needs to run right now, but I would just love to hear it start before I take a break from it, because this thing has just been tons of way more work than expected, but she's almost there. We're almost to the end. So I'm gonna keep doing a little more filming, keep putting some stuff on this thing, and yeah. Well, we're getting there. Tranny lines are all in. It's a very tight fit right up here. I got some clamps up on everything. Everything kind of tightened down, getting to that point. The alternator's still off, but I got clamps on the charge pipes. I got the water lines done, you can see right there. And then I got the lower one down, which kind of does a gnarly loop-de-doo down here, which I'm gonna build a little bracketry to support it. I'll kind of show you what I mean. That's that black one right here. This is all the water line. It's kind of gnarly, but I'll put a little fitting on top so you can drain all the air out of that, because you know the air is going to go to the highest point. So we'll weld something on there so I can drain this thing out and get it all cleaned, get all the air out of the system so it cools good. And we're about there. I got to wire 2 wires in, and that's about it. It's been a long process with this one, but I'm super stoked to fire it up and take it for a little drive, see how she runs. it'll be pretty awesome. And I think it looks pretty mean like that. Look nicer with the front bumper on, but it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna keep plugging away. Hopefully next couple days I get the rest of the parts I need and finish this thing off. Fluids, fire it up. What's up, guys? Another day back working in the shop on the gray car, and I actually got in the mail today my new Terminator X since the other one went to hell. So she's right here. Bought it used from a guy. He's switching to a Dominator, so good score for me. I plugged it in, everything works. My flex fuel sensor worked, so I'm not really sure what the deal was, why the other one went to hell. But what I've been working on now is getting the, so since you can't jumper off of any fuses in this car because everything goes inactive when you hit the starter. So you can't switch the Terminator X on because it will not work. So then I had to find the main ignition wire, and I have a diagram, so if anyone wants it, message me and I can send it to you. But if you take the two panels right up here under the dash off, you will get to all that stuff. Hold on, let me grab my light. Here it is. So if you take the two panels off right under the dash, you get up to here. And so your two wires, your one right up here, I believe it is green. Oh no, it's red with a green line. You tap into that one, that is your main ignition, your 12 volts. And then if you kind of come back here and look at this one, it is a white and pink wire, and that is your starter relay wire. And if you tap them into them here, you can get around the anti-theft, the neutral safety, and the clutch switch. So that's what I did. I just tried it, and it works. I'll give you a little demonstration here. So I don't have the Terminator in right now because I do not want that one to get messed up, but so I got the key on, the dash is all lit up, and you just kind of don't have oil in it, but starter works. So we're golden there, just how I wanted, everything driven off the key. So I'm super pumped. Gonna throw those panels back on. We should be good. And then since the charge pipe is where it is, this car does not have any hood latch, so my dad is currently putting hood pins in it. So we just got one in so far, and there it is. Just kind of opening the hole up slowly, trying not to absolutely murder the paint on this thing. Even though it's not mint, still want it to look nice. So we're getting her though. And I think I'm gonna have to make my own set of pins for it because these are aluminum and that's the only thing holding the hood down. So I think I'm gonna take some ready rod and make them out of steel, shine them up real nice, paint them, and then just replace those. But these ones will work perfect for mock-up. So that's what we got going for now. I'm gonna kind of piece the interior back together and just keep chipping away at random little stuff. She's basically ready to go. Well, we're about ready to fire this thing up. Filled everything with fluids. A stupid thermostat housing's got a small drip to it. Classic. Them things are kind of garbage, but I need this specific angle, so I'll have to find something else to replace that. And then appears there's some sort of crack somewhere in the fuel tank because that has a small drip to it as well. I got a pan under it, but we're gonna fire it up anyway and just hear this baby purr. So hopefully all goes well and it runs good. Yeah, should we try it? Hit it? Yep. Holy shit. So as you heard, she fired up. This is the reason number 2 wasn't running. Like I said, all this stuff came just in a box, you know. I don't know if anybody knew where it was or what it had been through, but so that one was cut. Not a big deal though, I just go to the junkyard and get a different one. But it's great to hear this thing run. It sucks ass that it has a fuel leak. That's really, really, really unfortunate. but the water leak sealed itself up with some heat, so that'll be all right for now, I guess. Just got to figure out what I'm gonna do with it because the red car needs to come home. We're gonna keep tinkering, make sure we all know what's working and what ain't, and yeah. Oh yeah! So as you've seen, we had it running, and it ran pretty good. So we only had 2 minor issues. This was leaking, and then the little fuel tank leak. So I put some RTV on that guy. That's what Justin did with his, and I guess they all kind of leak. So we did that. And then I patched the fuel tank, got a little fuel tank patch kit, and that seemed to work pretty good too. Hopefully it seals it up. And then this was actually broken right here on the coil, so I just spliced them back together. Like I said, all that stuff, don't know where it came from, but now we're just kind of putting it back together. Putting antifreeze back in it after sealing all that up, putting the wheels on, putting the fender liners in, so kind of wrapping this thing up, and hopefully we can take it for a ride, or at least drive it outside and let it run for a little while, see how it is. Let's get finishing this guy up. Red car comes home tomorrow. Well, she's back down on the ground. Filling it with water. The fuel tank does not leak. She looks pretty good. It's crazy. Every time you set one of these down after they've been in the air forever, it's shocking how low they sit. It's not quite as shocking with this one, but with the red one, it's unreal. Thing's like 2 inches off the ground. But yep, we're going to go through the water system here, make sure everything's all good, fire it up, fill it up with antifreeze, and be ready to go. Let's see if she moves. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Got a little tuning work to do. But she fires right up. Check this shit out. Ooh, switch hands. Oh, just kidding. Now she's being crabby, of course. Oh my God. What's its deal now? Now it's happier. Oh man, she looks so mean. I love this thing. You can barely even see the exhaust out here. Oh yeah, I'm pumped. Well guys, out doing some tuning, and I'm out of gas. So Dad's on the way with a tank, and hopefully I'm all good to go. But so far it's kind of running weird, but it's kind of hard to know because it's, you know, has no fuel in it. So I got to fill it up with get some full tank of gas and then drive it around, because it just seems like it wants a ton of fuel and it really shouldn't, but we'll see. I'll mess with it some more. Well guys, that is a wrap for this video. Got the gray car filled up with gas though, and ran good. Put the old tune back in because it seemed like it wanted a lot of fuel. That was just because it's out of fuel. So we're back to square one. She drives pretty good. Needs some fine tuning. It likes to kill when you let off and coast, and I don't know what's up like with the transmission wise, but it has like the vacuum modulator thing on it, and it just shifts so weird. It just does weird stuff, and I don't know, maybe it just takes some getting used to, or maybe, I don't know, but it just does goofy things. But pretty happy. She runs pretty good for today being the first time I started it and driving it to the gas station and having it run and everything. I mean, I cannot complain one bit. So I'm gonna pick back up on it tomorrow, maybe a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get the red car home. That's the whole goal. But yeah, not too bad. I'm overall, I'm pretty happy. That's gonna end this video off, guys. Thanks for watching.